the sudden emergence of helicopter parents and tiger moms after many of today's parents had much more relaxed childhoods in the 1970s and 1980s? Our answer is that economic incentives have changed, largely as the result of a rise in economic inequality that took place during the same period. Next, we take a tour around the world and try to understand why parenting practices vary so much across countries. Our answer is that economic incentives differ across countries too. Third, we observe that in advanced economies, a parenting gap has opened up between the choices of parents on different rungs of the social ladder. What can account for the gap? We show how economic incentives differ across parents who face different constraints, depending on their income and education. Part 2 of the book looks back through history. Why was strict parenting so popular for centuries, while today most parents refrain from disciplining their children harshly when they do wrong? We argue, once again, that economic incentives have changed. Using the same lens, we also study the transformation of gender roles in parenting, the transition from large to small families in the course of economic development, the changing attitude of parents toward child labor, and even the formation and transmission of different preferences and values across social classes. Part 3 of the book looks ahead into the future. There we study the effect of policies and institutions, focusing first on schools and educational institutions. Then we consider policy interventions. We argue that the parenting gap between rich and poor families amplifies inequality of opportunity for children from different backgrounds, and we ask what could be done to close the gap. We also look further ahead and ask what parenting will be like for the next generation if the current movement toward higher economic inequality continues. Introduction. When it comes to parenting, people do not usually think of economics. Yet, economics is a social science that aims to understand how people make decisions, and the decisions we make as parents are among the most important ones we face. In this book, we argue that economics can help us understand how many children people have, how much they invest in their upbringing, and what parenting style they choose. In contrast to many other books on parenting, ours is not a parenting guide. We believe that our task as social scientists is not to tell parents what to do, but to understand the motives and forces behind what they actually do. To this aim, we take the perspective that parents, by and large, know about the pros and cons of different parenting choices. Given this knowledge, they do what they consider to be in the best interest of themselves and their children, whom they care about. We show that the economic perspective is a powerful tool that can account for many observations on parenting, ranging from recent changes such as the rise of intensive helicopter parenting, that is, supervising children's every move and hovering over them, to earlier historical transformations such as the sharp decline in the average number of children per woman that led to the rise of the modern nuclear family. Drawing on personal experience. In writing this book, we draw not only on empirical data and our economic training, but also on our own experience as parents and, earlier in life, as children. For this reason, in this introduction, we start out with a description of our own backgrounds. We are two European academics living in the United States who grew up in very different environments in terms of geography, culture, and economic conditions from those in which we rear our own children. Our profession has led us to travel extensively and to be exposed to different cultures and child-rearing practices. The great diversity we have observed in the way parents bring up their children, both across countries and over time, motivates us to apply lessons from economics and social science to the study of parenting. Matthias grew up in a village in Lower Saxony, West Germany, a typical middle-class community close to Hanover, the state capital. His father was a civil servant in state government and also ran a farm. Matthias's mother was a teacher but stopped working in that profession when Matthias was little, as working on the farm and raising 4 children kept her plenty busy. Later on, she was engaged in local politics and served as mayor of the village for many years. After his studies at Humboldt University in Berlin, Matthias moved at the age of 24 to the United States, first to Minneapolis and then to Chicago, where he earned